Hey everyone, welcome back to OC Outdoorsman. I'm here at Laguna Niguel Lake this morning and it is 38 degrees. It's the coldest it's been all year long, and man, the sun is just starting to come out, so things will be warming up fairly quickly. Today I'll be targeting carp. I really don't know if there are carp in this lake, but I know that there are catfish. So I'll be targeting both. So take a look. There's only about 3 or 4 of us out today. There's the dam. This used to be an awesome trout fishing lake. It was private, but now it's a public park, and it's just not the same. You're not allowed to take float tubes out on this lake or boats anymore. You can only shore fish. So well, I'm a couple of hours in right now and still no fish. And I kind of regret not bringing my fly fishing gear because check out the conditions. It's so flat, no wind, and not a lot of branches sticking out of the water, kind of like at Irvine Lake. So I could cast without worrying about tangling up my fly line. It would have been ideal to practice my casting on that fly reel. Should have brought it. Especially now, since it's so dead. Nobody's catching fish. Since the fishing was so slow, I decided to capture some aerial footage of the lake. So this is the northern section as I approach the dam right here. During trout season, this could be a really productive spot. Speaking of trout season, I was talking to another angler earlier, and he mentioned that next weekend they would be stocking 1,000 pounds of trout. So it looks like trout season's just around the corner. Screeching sound that you're hearing is the sound of a conventional reel. Looks like one of the anglers here is using a saltwater reel to catch catfish. I'm assuming the catfish can get pretty big here, so it's, I guess, best to be prepared. Here I'm hovering just above a little island that's in the middle of Laguna Niguel Lake. Years ago, it was great taking a boat or your float tube out to fish all around this little island. Now we can simply admire it. Part of the fun of shore fishing is watching the techniques and strategies of some of the other anglers. If you look closely, this person is using a hand line. He's not even using a rod and reel. He's taking a fishing line, he's looping it around and just throwing it out. And then he's retrieving the line manually. Slowly, you can see him pulling on it back to the shore and then casting it out again. Really interesting. As you can see from this aerial shot, I was fishing pretty close to the concession / tackle shop. Well, it used to be a tackle shop. It's gone now. They no longer do boat rentals, but it was nice back in the day when we could take a boat out on this lake. Since there's very little action, let's take a look at my gear. This is that Daiwa MCast spinning reel that I purchased recently.
and you can see it is a bait runner reel, and there's a switch here. When it's up like this, the drag is locked down, but when you flip the switch back out like so, it's almost like opening the valve, but there's a little bit of drag on there. You can see that if the fish takes off, it can run with the bait without pulling your rod in the water. So it's a really nice feature, and it was designed for fishing live bait. Now, as you know, I'm on Laguna Niguel Lake, which is supposedly it has carp in here, so I'm using it for carp. And as you saw at Irvine Lake, when a carp takes the bait and runs off with it, there's a lot of give here, so it'll run off with your hook without pulling your rod in the water. Nice feature if you're casting something out and just waiting for a fish to bite. But eventually I will be using this out on the ocean on my kayak when I have live bait. So excellent reel. This is a size 5000 spinning reel, and I have it mounted to this GX2 rod. Apparently the fish just weren't hungry today. Didn't get a single nibble all morning, so I decided to put my fishing gear away and kind of give you a tour of this lake. So here I'm just having the drone follow me around, and I'm heading towards the southern end of this lake.
The wild, wild is calling now. The wild, wild is calling. There's no time, oh. The wild, wild is calling. The wild, wild is calling.
As I approach these geese, they're known to be pretty aggressive. I decide to make a U-turn and head back up to the street. So here's a little history about this lake. Back in 1970, the Laguna Niguel Corporation donated 109 acres for county park use. An additional 45 acres, including the lake and dam area, was purchased by the county and flood control district. In 1976, a lake concession building and boat dock were constructed by the county on a 10-year lease. By 1981, the S&S Construction Company donated another 20 acres for county use. A few years later, Phase 2 of development began. This created the front park entrance, improved a landscape design that added a winding river rock wall with tree wells for large California sycamore trees. More bicycle trails were added, along with 6 picnic shelters, 2 creek crossing bridges, and 5 fishing access piers. We used to enter trout fishing tournaments here using float tubes. They were such a blast. Unfortunately, the concessionaire and tackle shop at Laguna Niguel Lake closed in November of 2015. That's when the County of Orange took over the maintenance and management of the lake. Since then, the lake has been closed to any watercraft. Now you can only fish from the shore. When it was privately owned, I believe it cost a bit over $20 to fish this lake. But then again, they used to stock it with these giant Nebraska trout, and they were so fun to catch. Now today, the lake continues to be stocked with trout when temperatures drop, and that's typically around this time of year by the Department of Fish and Game. But the fish that they stock now are quite small by comparison. Now you only have to pay around $5 for parking, and there's no fee to fish this lake. I guess there's one benefit to the County of Orange taking over management of this lake. Well, although I didn't catch any fish in this video, it was nice reminiscing about one of my past favorite fishing spots with you. So thank you for watching, and please give this video a thumbs up.